Welcome back to Sport On. One of the reasons we're very excited on the show, Wakabi, is for a right reason, because this team made history. Qualifying for the African Cup of Nations. You know, the thing that was interesting is when they qualified, there was a lot of conversation about, oh, Kenya's hosting African Nations Championship, there's African Cup of Nations, but I was like, there's a team that has actually qualified for Afcon already for the under-20.
Yes, Bernard. Look, we all know Kenyan football doesn't make news for the right reasons most of the time. So it was good to see a team do something different. First was the ladies. They made it to the World Cup under-17 and we thought, nice. Then you see the rising stars. We see, okay. So so it's good to see something different, something positive. And it felt very good, Bernard. I've covered a few Afcons. It felt good to hear the CAF anthem and to see a Kenyan judge. It just felt nice. Because for the most part, the only thing we take there is a referee. For the most part, it's Kamaku and maybe an assistant ref. So it was good to see the young men there. And not only did they go, Bernard, but they didn't look out of place. They looked at home. Absolutely.
Assistant coach of the Rising Stars, Anthony Ahulia. Assistant captain, Kevin Wangaya. Assistant captain, Baron Ochieng. I'll start with you, coach.
Yes.
Mumerudi Kenya, muli represent Kenya kwa Africa Cup of Nations under 20. Vile muli qualify last year.
Yeah.
Vile mliambiwa mmequalify ndio mlifika katika finali mkaenda nyinyi na Tanzania. Ulijihisi vipi at that point kwamba mnaenda kurepresent Kenya at the Africa Cup of Nations, because hiyo ni level ya juu kabisa. It comes to that level ya hiyo age group yenu.
Ilikuwa fiti kwanza tukiwa Tanzania. I think malengo yetu yalikuwa kwanza tu qualify to Afcon. Tulijua tukifika finali tumequalify Afcon. So mambo ya kushinda cup sana tu kufikiria, ilikuwa to make history to at least the first team kwenda Afcon kwa hiyo category yetu, and we did that. So ilikuwa fit sana, ilikuwa moral fiti to make the nation proud. Yeah.
Let's talk about tumequalify, mumeenda, mmepiga mazoezi. Tulikuwa tunaona picha kila siku. Tulikuwa tumeona na Saila Kiplagat, our photographer.
Yes.
Pictures of the team preparing, team getting ready. Then we get to the first game.
Yes.
Game ya kwanza ilikuwa vipi?
Hiyo ni stage kubwa. Niko sure kila mtu hiyo moment kuna ka butterfly kadogo kwa tumbo. But
tulikuwa game against Morocco.
Yes. Having that again, Morocco ni timu haiku si timu ndogo, timu kubwa kwa hiyo stage. But tulikuwa tumejisaika. I think kwa tizi kila time tulikuwa naambia wachezaji, this is our first match. This is our first match. Majamaa hatuwezi angusha wa Kenya. Hatuwezi ingia hapo tupigwe ni kama tu kukuja kucompete. So twendeni pale pia countries zijue Kenya kuna ball, kuna talent. So tukiingia pale, our first thinking was lazima Africa wajue kuna football.
Lazima watu feel.
Watu feel, wajue Kenya pia ball uchezwa. So ni makosa kidogo tu, but watu walicheza fit sana. It was a very nice game.
Baron, first game nacheza na Morocco. First ever time Kenya iko kwa hiyo level. Feelings zilikuwa zipi kama mchezaji?
First of all, mimi naweza sema kwangu ilikuwa ndio tuseme game ni kesho. Alafu leo sasa ilikuwa ile like tumekuja hadi tukaongeleshwa na like some people wa VAR nini. So unaona as a player nilikuwa najua ini level tofauti pale sijawahi ingia. First of all nikiona kwanza unakuja kufunzwa mambo ya VAR kitu iko Kenya.
Ilikuwa mara ya kwanza.
Ilikuwa mara yangu ya kwanza. Unaona VAR kwanza lakini as a player pia hiyo tumequalify tunaenda Afcon. Kwangu ilikuwa a big psych. So nilikuwa najimotivate na knowing that hiyo game tulikuwa tushaambiwa Baron ndacheza hiyo game. So I just motivated myself because nilikuwa nataka ikuwe my first game na nicheze poa sana.
Kevin, vile muli qualify, of course mko najua zile teams mta meet, but tena teams zika change. Because kwa mara ya kwanza zilikuwa different teams. Kulikuwa na Sierra Leone pia mlikuwa nafaa kucheza against. Vitu zika change. Because unajua mkiprepare mlikuwa mnajua hizo ndio teams mnaenda kuface.
For me I think vitu zili change, so pia lazima tu switch focus kwa the other teams zenye tumepangwa nazo. Jua tuko bado tuko sure like wenye tuanza kuprepare kuhusu hizo teams zingine, because lazima tu analyze na tujue how they play. So I think tuli shift to focus tukasema we're playing Morocco. Kuna Nigeria, kuna Tunisia, so lazima tu shift focus na tuanze prepare in a good way, in another different way kuliko venye ilikuwa to prepare against the other teams.
But it will destabilize kidogo because unajua hii ndio team nenda kuface, then just before tournament ianze like about it was less than a month.
Yes.
Less than a month mnaambiwa mchezi hawa, mnacheza Morocco, mnacheza Tunisia, mnacheza Nigeria.
I think pia ni kitu poa juu ukiona pia kwa group tulikuwa na Morocco, of which Morocco watu wengi wanaijua. It's a good country. Football wise wamedevelop sana hata kutuliko Kenya. So I think ilikuwa poa pia kama mchezaji unajisaik. Unajua opponents unaenda kucheza nao. They played good teams, big teams, so yeah.
What's the feeling like, Kevin? First game playing Morocco, big team, you guys went ahead. Went ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the feeling like? Like we are leading. We are actually almost until halftime. Spoken your VAR. There was a VAR check there that went against us. Okay, Baron anasema. What was the feeling like when we are leading Morocco?
The feeling is nice because hata ukiona about lifunga penye nilienda nika slide, you enjoy. It's a good moment. The knee slide ni kitu nilikuwa nimeplan lazima nitafanya because it's a big stage, so yeah. The feeling was nice because it's our first time and si ndo tunascore kwanza, so it was so nice. And from the celebrations ngona how we celebrated, it was so nice. Yeah.
You maybe weren't as overawed like the rest because like you've had a stint away in Europe, you've been away. But what's the feeling like when you represent Kenya at that level and you're wearing the Kenyan jersey and you are scoring and we are giving Morocco a good game?
It's a huge feeling. When you ulisema hapa kwanza before the game, hiyo anthem ya CAF na ya national team ya Kenya, it's a good feeling sana. When tu unaisikia tu, you just feel yenyewe paliniko. It's a big stage and I have to do well. Yeah.
So coach, we lead, they equalize, it's 2-1, it's 2-2. How are you feeling at that point? Because Kenya is in the game, and that's what I was saying. When we talk about basketball, what's happening in Bale, yes. Kenya is not in that game, like you can tell. But you guys were right there. Like, si ati ni kama mlikuwa timu. Amko hapo, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, then 3-2.
Yes. Naweza sema ni kwanza stage. When we were leading first, tuliongoza. A bigger part ya hiyo first half tulikuwa naongoza. It was good because tulikuwa tumetake control of the game kabisa. Kuna mahali mpaka Morocco touch zilipigwa kidogo wakapotea. But one thing nili realize na hizo teams ni watu wanajua kujimanage sana. They don't work under pressure. They even let you guys play. Then you are running the show. But now wanajua moment ya wameregain energy, now they can come. So sisi na feel sasa zile tulikuwa tuko juu hiyo 1-0 hatu kujimanage vizuri. Sasa unajua pia sisi tumekuja kwa hii stage mara ya kwanza. The things that Baron, Kevin wakiwa kwa pitch, kuna excitement, of course we are leading, but now as time goes kuna kwa natule tulaps tu atujui kumanage yako kwa time. Sasa zile game inaendelea na hiyo ndio kitu kidogo wale Waarabu walitulemea nayo. Because each and every time unaona walikuwa wanajirudisha kwa game, even when you're leading, panic, they are keeping the cool, wana run vitu zao mpaka ile moment uta lose focus kidogo, then they pounce on you.
So it's like they know how to capitalize on your mistakes,
yes,
however small.
Looking at how we conceded those goals, walikuwa na they were pouncing on us. Sasa zile sisi umezile kidogo unainua mkono, they score, then
that's the third one. That's actually the goal I had a fight. My only fight with Wangaya that whole tournament is that goal, because he thinks there is a foul, and then he lifts his hand up and I'm like, clear the ball first, then you lift your hand up. Hapo tu ndio fight yangu na bali sikuwa na fight nyingine.
Ni vizuri
hapo tu, ni
vizuri wote wakapa, because wote walikuwa kwa hiyo ball.
My instinct was play to the whistle, clear it, then we will worry about VAR later.
Yes.
So Wangaya lifted, and then the Moroccan kaendelea tu.
Alifunga kwanza sasa ngoja tu check kama tumefunga.
Kama tushafunga.
Sasa sisi hapo kidogo ndio.
But now that is what you're talking about, experience. Game management.
At that level, I think maybe hata ligi yao maybe na hizo VAR. Unajua sasa sisi kwetu ligi na VAR bana. Wewe unaweza tega mzere kwa play on, then you can score, what to celebrate. But huko unaona kila kitu inachekiwa, then Mimi na feel hiyo VR, hiyo part ya VR kidogo ndio ile to cost because sisi tulikuwa na expect referee whistle. Hakuna whistle. So the guys wana capitalize hapo, si bado tunainua mkono wanatufunga. And then sasa of course tunateta, si bado itaenda iwe reviewed. And then unapata hakuna kitu mzee. Then yeah.
Bara nilisikiaje hiyo point? Like ulisema before games ianze ukafundisha mambo ya VR. Ulisikiaje that point? Uko unafikiria nini wakati hiyo moment alafu ka decide wacha tukoje kwanza lakini game bado inaendelea? Ulilearn nini kwa hiyo game other than that situation pia?
Mimi kitu tu nililearn hapo, kitu ya kwanza ni unaona enyewe nilijua ball tunacheza, kuna ball acha yenye tunacheza, this football. And I think ukiona vile hao maboy wanacheza utaona clearly ni wase wamefunzwa hii kitu. Mimi personally tukicheza hapa Kenya Premier League, I play for Sofapaka. Ukiona the way our captain alianguka aka sound, tulikuwa hapo mimi na Kevo. Hiyo shocking vile aliruka na akagonga chini na akatoa hiyo sauti. Alafu akalala, si ilitushtua. Unaona ni kama mjamaa ameumia. Yo Kevo kuinua mkono pia mimi iko rada kidogo imefungwa kwanza. Sasa mimi hata kwanza akili haiko jamaa hata amefunga, mimi bado akili haiko hapo, Kevo akili haiko hapo. Sisi tunakimbia kwanza kuangalia huyu jamaa. Actually hivyo ni vile si tunaona hapa hiyo sportsmanship, but wale wako na hiyo akili wamefunzwa mzee, hata mtu akiwa chini wewe funga, hata kama si bao itatole, lakini kwanza funga. Si tuko na ile bado ile tunasemaje, ile huruma ile ya ball ati hebu acha tuangalie ujamaa kwanza. Hiyo ndio kitu nililearn kwa ball, convert kwanza. Hiyo action iko hapo, deal na hiyo situation kwanza. After ume deal na hiyo situation, sasa itaangaliwa. So hiyo ndio kitu mimi nililearn yenye for the longest time huku sijakuwa na hiyo experience. Mimi nataka experience imekuwa nayo ni hii kitu inafanyika hapa, kwanza tunangoja referee ndio tu take action. But huko ni take action kwanza then ungoje referee. Nini
kingine ulilearn kwa hiyo game?
Kitu nililearn pia ni siwezi sema ati ni like our boy unaona moment as in the way they conserve their energy. Na vile tu coach amesema tulikuwa tukicheza, ukiona tu senye tu tukiblink tu hivi, tukitoa tu concentration yetu hivi kidogo bao, unaona. But clearly utaona sina watu tukiweza hizo vitu wanafanyiwa tukiweza kuwa modified, tukiweza zipata. Ukiangalia like our energy na energy yao majamaa as much, our energy iko juu. Hata ukiona tukimaliza game Morocco wa kutoka walala chini kwanza, au ilikuwa like hii ndio imekuwa hadi kwa Joana hii ndio imekuwa game ngumu. So far ndio imekuwa game ngumu. Hadi walikuwa walisema watapata game ngumu kama hiyo. Unaona? So mimi nimelan lazima pia as players lazima ball si physical, pia lazima tukue na mind. Ukiona vile hao vijana wako patient, tuko 1-0 wanatuachia space. Chezeni. Tunacheza dakika kidogo bao. Wanakuja, wanatoa attack, wanaona ikui, wanaona sahi vijana wampata moment yao. Wanarudi nyuma kudefend. Wamecrack, tumewafunga, wana pressure. Rakochwa huko wana pressure. Azim hiyo wanajua kitu wanadu. Wanajua ama jamaa kuna kitu lazima watafanya hivi. Na hiyo kitu ikitokea lazima tutumie hiyo advantage.
Coach,
so I think
what Baron is saying.
Yes.
What makes them that much better than us? Like he's saying, wanajua ku manage game, wanajua kuangalia tempo, ku reduce, kwenda mbele, ku capitalize. What is that they have worked on that we don't have? Is it technique? Is it practice? What is it? Is it football education?
Yes. And then vijana kutoka in this academies zao. Unajua most of us hapa Kenya mtu anakuja kucheza mpira akiwa mtu mkubwa. Maybe umecheza mpira shule kidogo then timu imekuchukua umekuja Premier League. From high school football umekama hapa. Si tukiwa hata huko. Tulikuwa camp moja na Egypt under 16. Under 17 yao ilikuwa imequalify World Cup. Sasa hii ni under 16 imekuja ndio their next under 17. Now wana prepare for the next, wanajua ile shatoka.
So next under 17, next under 20.
You see. So unaona sisi we come to camp sasa liko na kitu. But wale already wako camp wanaanza na basics. So wanafunzwa hizo vitu kwa kampo. Mtu anajua kujimanage. Wala Tunisia kwanza tulikuwa tunacheza ball hivi. Tuliwapiga bao wakakuwa. Kwanza walikuwa wametuogopa wa Tunisia sasa ile game ya Tunisia.
Yeah, the 3-1-1.
Then vile watufunga hivi. Na wakaanza mpaka wanaambia na time. Wanaangalia, kila mtu anaangalia scoreboard na anaangalia time. Kidogo mtu analala hapa. Ukimgonga kidogo ashambia referee, give him red card, give him red card. Of course referee anakupea red card. But sasa yana manage time na hizo. So hizi ni vitu vijana wanafunzwa from the academies wakikuja juu. So akifika hii level ya juu wanajua kukill. Wewe utaona waste time, but trust me they really mko kwa momentum ya kwenda forward, then they kill it. They slow you down.
What are some of the differences, or what are some of the big? Because we could see now. Let me give my 2 cents.
Yes.
The first thing was size.
Yes.
Our boys are small.
Very
Those
small.
guys are giants.
Very small.
And then conditioning. I just thought they looked better conditioned. So I wonder, is it Atukuli, Kevin Nabaro na Wakuli? Ama hatuchagui wala watu wako na sense. Like there has to be a I don't know what is it. Ama ni jeans. I don't know, but there's. What do you guys think? Why is there such a disparity? Because the age group is the same.
Yes. Before aongee mimi nitasema hivi. Hata baada every game ilikuwa unachukuliwa maybe one of them wanaenda ile doping. Pale kwa anti-doping wakitestiwa first unaulizwa what do you use in terms of supplements. Bana Mtunisia ana list ya vitu anatumia vitu karibu 10. Sasa ukevo
Maji na Lucas.
maji na
Kevo unatumia supplements.
Bana anasema unatumianga Lucozade na maji.
Wewe ulikuwa umetumia supplements?
Me bado, because I think hizo vitu hazija kuja like the best of them bado hazijafika in our country. And I feel like bado sijapata the proper person ama the proper supplements to use. Because hata mimi jamani sijakuwa nikitumia hizi vitu so sijui.
So coach, so that is one of the differences.
The knowledge, you don't
the
have
knowledge,
Yes.
the way they prepare, what they take in.
And then you have talked about body size. So unapata kijana of course ako 16 years but ukimwangalia mwili juu hizo vitu wanatumia. Hao wanajua in terms of muscle watawalemea tu energy wise. Hata ukiangalia ball unajua kuna mahali hao jamaa walitulemea. In terms of at 90 minutes vijana bado unaona nguvu ya Quran. But wale 90 minutes whistle inapigwa hivi wote wameenda down. Okay, wamewin ndio but hawana nguvu hata ya kufika hapo touchline. They are totally exhausted. So sisi yetu we really need to invest in these guys. Tumeona Kevo anatoshana hivi. Nini tunaweza fanya? Kevo ndio aenda acheze hiyo top level tunataka akue pro. Ataenda upro hivi kidogo atamrudisha Kenya. Because they need wana consider a lot of mtu mkubwa. Huyu ni midfielder so lazima akue strong hapo katikati. As much as is talented. Talent is fine. Because hata ukiangalia utaona hakuna mali either wale wa Morocco wa Tunisia hata wa Nigeria. Hakuna mali walitulemea ball, hakuna mali ya timu ilituchezea mpaka tukasema tukajishika hivi kama technical bench yenyewe hii tumelemewa. Hakuna. So talent wise
we are okay.
We are okay. Now hizi vitu ndogo hizi now we need Kevo to have a bigger body. We need Baron is a full back, a right back. We need him to be another tussle na striker number 9. Unaona zia anapigwa body charge hivi anaenda huko.
Napata energy ya kwenda na kurudi na kurudi na technique.
Yes. So unapata hizi vitu zingine tactics in terms of how we coach the team, tactics fine. Unapata tulikuwa tunaziba kabisa mpaka wanakosa watacheza wapi. So tactically we were good. In terms of now the way we manage the match now.
Yeah.
Hapo sasa wanatulemea na hiyo. Because our players tumecheza tumefika 30 minutes. The same energy you've used for 30 minutes. You still want to use the same energy the last 15 minutes. I want to manage. We have worked for that for 30 minutes. We are leading either 2-1. So we can manage the 2-1 back half time.
So those are some of the lessons that we learned from there. Food, technology, because it's science and technology.
Science, yes.
The supplements, the conditioning. Because I'm assuming size generally Kenyans we are smaller compared to.
Because looking at tulikuwa na mtu wetu wa performance analyst wetu. After let's say every time alikuwa na communicate na technical bench. Baron amekimbia hivi, Kevo sema amekimbia hivi.
Ndio zile vests walikuwa nazo.
Yes. So angekuja hapo kwa bench aongeleshe mtu mmoja hapo naambiwa nikiwa kwa touch naambiwa mzee Baron na push kidogo ama Kevo work more. Because unajua mali Kevo fika but hajafika na tumecheza like 30 minutes. So naambia Kevo ni aje hebu mzee jipush kidogo because kawa critical kwa kakiwa chini then team ita na wewe ni midfielder. So in terms of how we manage the game and how we manage the team, tulikuwa pia sisi hatukuwa vibaya. There are things that tulikuwa tunafanya zina match hiyo energy yao. But now sasa kuna vitu zenye nafaa tufanye more ambazo maybe sisi hatungeza do.
Kevin, wewe una nini pia una feel tunaweza work on tuweze kufikia level ya hizi teams zingine?
I think tunaweza work on is more preparation better kabisa ikuwe tu poa.
Kiaje?
Because we had good preparation when we prepare hapa Kenya, but like in terms of playing games, more games, okay. Not like just playing with the Premier League teams. At least play with the other countries. Because ukipata the only good match we had, of course hizi zingine pia zilikuwa poa, but now like our category and also hizo countries, yeah, we need like more of them and also at least to go and have camp abroad, not like also just in Kenya, just play games here. I think tunahitaji tu exposure more ya kucheza na hizo countries ndio ikuwe better, because we have a good preparation, lakini in terms of games tulicheza tuna teams za Premier, so yeah.
Staying with you, I mean you're in the team of the group stages. What did that mean to you? What does that mean for you to be put in a best 11 of the group stages?
I mean, I give my best, but for me I feel like si give kabisa, because tulikuwa na something we wanted. Of course we wanted to qualify for the World Cup, but it's a good feeling. Ni my coach and my teammates ndo walinisaidia nifike hapo. Yeah.
What you've already had a stint out in Europe. Can you use this as a stepping stone to go back when you see yourself? Where do you want Wangaya to go?
Of course, I want Wangaya to go to Europe because the performance was also good. We performed also well as a team, but hatukupata tulikuwa nataka. So I think imetupea more exposure and people get to see us also. Hata kama tulitoka group stage, at least to show something, because it was shocking. Tulifika hapo na they didn't expect that. They thought maybe tutapiga tu Kenya game zote. Nigeria, Morocco, Tunisia. So they thought itakuwa rahisi.
Is there someone looking? Is your email busy? Is your agent's email easy? What's going on there? Because I mean, to be in that team of the group stages is not small feat, right? To score the goal and the way you played. Is there things happening? Is there something we should be getting excited about, or should be getting ready to get excited about?
It's something I wouldn't want to talk about, but
just give us hope.
Yeah, it's a good question. Things are coming up.
Things are coming up, eh?
Yeah.
Because you know the window opens on July 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
On God, things are coming.
Baron, representing Kenya, of course, inakuwa special. Pia will get opportunity. You have a very interesting story because pia kuna wakati ulikuwa umeitwa kwa Harambee Stars as well. Na sasa uko kwa Rising Stars as well. Difference, the level, how did it feel for you from the senior team, junior?
Kwa ukienda when you go to the senior team, hiyo ni tofauti. Unaona sisi vile tuko hapa, like if you see us the young and the way like I nearly spend na I think Olunga a day tu nikiwa kwa camp. Naona vile yako man, ndio utaona mbona naitwa Olunga. Yani you know how these people coordinate and ni kitu ukiona kama Olunga wanafanya hivyo, I think ni vitu pia sisi like unaona ule mjamaa ukiona vile tu kocha amesema, ukiona vitu watu wanatumia, unaona mjamaa amejipanga, this guy is waiting for this match. Unaona kama mimi nikienda nilipelekwa hiyo doping vile kocha anasema, mimi niliulizwa umetumia nini, mimi nikaandika mimi nimekunywa tu maji recovery. Sina mimi nimekunywa maji. Mchezaji mwingine anaandika hadi anauliza wewe doc nilikunywa nini tena? Yani list yake imefika huko chini. Na ukiona mtu nilienda kupimwa na doping, wewe jamani ni nyumba bana. Nyumba.
Ibonge.
Yeah. So hata ukiona our captains kina Michael Olunga, kina Timothy Uma au kina Nur vile wako. Unaona sasa ndio wako na hiyo privilege juu wako huko. So nikikuja hii side yetu unaona si most of us ni wa young, alafu wengi tumetoka tu vile kocha amesema. Hakuna hizo academies ati mob vile wale wasewa huko nje. Si tunatoka high school, kama umecheza high school fiti, Mungu akusaidie unakujalia unakuja premier. So unaona si kwetu ni challenging, but ukiona mimi nilikuwa tu na feel ukiona hawa like the way Morocco wanakaa like hao wanakaa sasa kama kina Olunga and they are
under 20.
They under 20s, they look kama kina Olunga. Unaona? So kuna hiyo difference. So mimi nilikuwa nakana kina Olunga na kina Timothy Uma, nilikuwa na feel kuna ile energy fulani, unaona. Surrounding yako tu ni different. But ukikuja kwa under 20 na umeitwa, nimetoka huku senior umeitwa huku, kuna vile tena unaona vitu tena si same. Unaona? So si mimi na nilikuwa tu na kama inaweza kuwa yani tukue level moja. Ndio hao ni wakubwa wetu.
Because ni important tunasema because Okabi, this under 20 is the team that will represent us 2027.
Actually,
even Chan.
That was going to be my next question
Yes.
to him. I was going to ask, so coach,
Yes.
you had this bunch of young men.
Yeah.
Who among those ones, if you are told pick 5 that you think these ones are ready for the step up? These ones, I think they look ready for, like Bernard has said, Chan kwanza, tuanza na Chan. So Chan we must put like 5.
Chan inafika.
Yes. Like if you look at the team that
Because
you
we had the Harambee Stars coach here, Benny McCarthy.
Yeah. So
he was watching the team kidding.
How many are the guys you say these ones are ready? Because of course some are more ready than others. No, it's just this is an obvious. Because camp ishavunjwa under 20 ishaisha, sasa unaanza kujenga ingine.
Okay. Ngoja wacha turudi nyuma kidogo. Hii team unajua tumetoka nayo kwa ile under
Yes, ile Sekafa.
Yes, ile under 18 tulicheza Kenya. So it's the same guys. Tumeongeza tu labda moja wawili tukikuja hivyo tunatoa huyu tunaweka huyu tukimove. Ile time unapata sasa zingine tona iko mlikuwa na uchali. Kwa hiyo but sasa tona imefika na he's not ready.
Yes.
So mnamtoa mnaweka mtu mwenye ako ready, you see. But imaanisha ametoka. He's still our player.
Yes.
Maybe another opportunity comes atarudi kwa camp. So ukiniuliza about who
Like who do you see is ready? Because
kwanza Baron has tested hapo juu. Mansour amekuwa pale juu. So hao ni wawili kwanza amekuwa hapo. For the rest of the guys, let's say mtu kama Kevo amekuwa mpaka kwa ile
bigger
group stage, the first 11 amekuwa.
Yes.
I think he also deserves to at least apart hiyo call up ya hapo senior pia feel senior.
and I feel vile Baron alifeel.
Baron alifeel. Ona senior kuna kuangaje.
See, you see, you've given me 4 so far. Give me 2
and then Amos ile tukienda Kosafa alikuwa kwa ile under 23 yetu tulienda naye Kosafa. So yeye kidogo pia kirais hapa kuja hapa one ajue hiyo level huwezi make mistake. Ukimake mistake ni tofauti. Unaona Olunga hata kuweka. Huko mwingine maybe Baron alimwambia strong. Wala hakuna cha strong. Hapo unaona ni tofauti. So pia anajisava kuja hapo juu kidogo being our captain. I feel ule striker ule Lawrence he did very good goals.
I like him.
Yes. Pia mimi na feel anaweza kuwa hapo kidogo ajaribiwe. Because pia Kenya mastrika unajua tu unapata. Mastrika ni wachache sana.
You see, coach, it wasn't hard. You've done it. Thank you. You've given us hope, Bernard. We were looking for hope. This is our future, like you said. Our present and our future. So he's told us, by the way, Wangaya, Baron, Mansour, Okoth, Wanjala. You see, he's given us names. So I think our future is in safe hands. Thank you, coach. I think I'll sleep much better tonight.
Coach, thank you so much. Nashukuru sana. Thank you so much for joining us. Baron, Kevin, nashukuru so much for joining us on Sport on Okabi. We shift to focus on Shot of the Weekend, where we get an opportunity to reflect on a special moment that has been captured during sporting action. And this time around Okabi, it is focused on Afcon. And this one was captured by Saila Kiplagat, who was with our team there. You can see this photo.
That is a lot of things happening. That's Niger and SA. And I'm assuming the keeper is Nigerian, yes?
Yes.
Where?
That was South Africa.
So why are all their eyes closed?
I think it's just that moment when I think everyone, you know, you're bracing for impact.
In fact, it's a pity that we have just finished with the under 20 guys and Coach Ahulia, because I would have wanted to know, when you head the ball, should your eyes be closed or open?
I think you should close, just for, because you saw it naturally.
Why you close? Are you gonna see? Because you need to see what you're heading.
When somebody throws something towards your eyes,
yes,
there you feel, you're like, actually, at least keen.
Shouldn't we then have a way, Bernard, that we can, that I think your eyes should be open though. I
think naturally.
I only played football at village level, but I think your eyes should be open. I think, like, how are you going to see what you're heading?
I think at that point, maybe they were just bracing. They were like, hey, wacha tu...
Yeah. Because also the keepers' fists are all out.
Yes.
And by the way, kudos to South Africa. They were really good. They
won
the
won.
whole thing.
And Morocco,
Really
remember,
nice.
the team that played against the Rising Stars is the one that reached the final as well.
Yeah. Kenya did really well versus Morocco. And you know the way you watch a game, I watched that game scared. Because we were with you in Afcon 2019. And the first 2 games, we were taken to school. But these young boys, they stepped up. They went toe to toe. You could tell, of course, you have a bit of a disadvantage. You are small. Maybe you don't have the same physique. But they were not overawed. And for me, that is the biggest win. And now when you see that Morocco team went all the way, it tells you we are on to something.
Absolutely. Now, let's focus on the timeline, where we also appreciate some of the interesting conversations that have been discussed on social media. And obviously, we wouldn't start on the timeline without focusing on something that has been a big talking point, Wakabi, the game between Tusker and Sofapaka. And you can see what Sofapaka shared on their platforms, of course. That's on social media, speaking about on the timeline, Wakabi. They just gave us the highlights of what happened. They had a very interesting caption, just saying, listen, we do this Monday, we do this Tuesday, we do this Wednesday, we do this Thursday, we do this Friday, we do this Saturday. So this is from a post on their social media page on X.
It was very, very tongue-in-cheek, Bernard. It was very tongue-in-cheek, the way, because you know, and you can see the goals there. So those are the goals, and of course, Sofapaka celebrating. But the way they put it on their Twitter handle, which was Tuluwapiga wiki. Like Tuluwapiga a whole week.
Yeah.
So Monday moja, Tuesday 2, and then even the enumeration, because the admin went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and everyone was a goal.
Yes.
I think it's very, very cheeky. And then they say, leo tunaanza na ya kwanza. So then they have the first goal. So I'm assuming they'll do this for the whole week.
For real.
Proper trolling.
That one, the proper trolling.
Banter. Love it.
Another team that was being trolled this past weekend, Wakabi, when you focus on the international front, is Manchester City. There's a player called Doku, Wakabi. He had a torrid time against Crystal Palace.
Really funny. What we're about to show is very funny, because he just couldn't go in. And then this, you see this?
Yeah.
In fact, the caption was his highlights. Because if you watch Doku, anyone who watches Man City knows he does this kind of step overs or something. So this was like, these are all his highlights. And I thought it was very
That's
funny.
how he does his... Then staying with Crystal Palace, Wakabi, we take a look at... that was hilarious. Like, you can see what it meant for Crystal Palace. Let's have a look at that post that was shared on social media regarding that. And this was by Anto Guerrero. Just tells you, look at the emotion, what it meant for this club, Wakabi. For each and every.
120 years of waiting.
Yes.
120, more than a century. The fans, the emotions were just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Whether it's, I actually saw one where they had 2 kids who were there in 2011 with their dad. Then they had them on the game. And it's just, you know, we wonder what makes football so big in the UK.
Yeah.
I think this tells you, this kind of emotions, this kind of belief in your team.
And loyalty as well.
Yes.
There's a guy, so Wakabi, a 70-year-old man, he was interviewed post-match. Of course, he was just reflecting on the victory. And he said, look, he was so certain that he was going to pass on without having seen his team win a major trophy. And he was in his 70s.
I saw that, yes.
He was in his 70s.
Like, I've waited 70 years.
Yes.
And I was thinking I'm going to pass on before they win, and now they have won. You just need to look at the look, that guy's look.
Yes.
It just tells you, look, just what it means to them. And it's just a game. I know they say it's just a game, but this kind of emotions just tells you what football means, especially in the year of underdogs, Bernard, because this year, it's underdogs who seem to be winning everything. Whether it's Palace, whether it's Newcastle, whether it's Bologna in the Coppa Italia in Italy. There's just something about the underdog this year that I like.
Europa League.
Maybe the underdog might win that one as well.
Now, we take a look at the oval ball. We focused on the spherical ball in terms of rugby now. We're focusing on a very unique post that was shared, Wakabi, because Siya Kolisi, Skalkberger, these are two players who've played extensively for the Springboks. And Skalkberger, this is Skalkberger Senior. He says the beauty of under-11 rugby, my grandson Nicole, after having played against Nicholas Kolisi, and rekindling memories of their two fathers giving it their all on the field, being friends, they're off playing together. And being friends, they are playing together. So these are obviously the young man on the left is Skalkberger's son, Skalkberger Senior's grandson, and on the right is Siya Kolisi's son, Nicholas Kolisi. So the two boys met in the under-11. It's very special.
Bernard, legacy.
What are the odds they play again together at the senior level?
Legacy, heritage, pedigree, youth system, youth product, because the gene is there. You obviously have the gene.
Yes.
Genetically, you have it. And then now there's a pathway for you to go up. The under 20 you're talking about, there being no pathway. These guys are playing each other at how young are they? They're young, they're preteens.
Yes.
They are preteens.
Yes.
So what will happen when they're playing in Cravenwick all the way up to the under somethings? It's heritage.
And you wonder why they're the four-time champions.
It's for things like this. Absolutely.
Now, Wakabi, we move on to something that you enjoy passionately, basketball, the New York Knicks. New York has been, like this past week has just been about the Knicks. If you think about New York, like the Madison Square Garden, we spoke about this on Sport on radio. How that's such a venue that has so much heritage.
The mecca of basketball, they call it. Of course, some people say New York is the center of the world, the city that never sleeps. And just the way the passion again that the fans came out with, it's the only thing that can rival what we saw there with the Palace fans. Those fans were uncontrolled, they were out of control.
Right.
And you can understand why, Bernard. 25 years since they last.
Long time.
Yes, since they last got to this level. It's incredible.
Let's take a look at those incredible scenes after the New York Knicks progressed to the next stage of the NBA playoffs. Well, Okabi,
and that's outside the arena.
Yes, that's the thing. That's
These are people who couldn't get into the arena.
So you can only imagine how the energy was inside.
Madness. Did you see the still? Did you see who's who was courtside? Ben Stiller, Busta Rhymes, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee has been a loyal fan.
Yes, he's been a season ticket holder for years and years and years. It's just like they're able to produce both the average fan and the stars. The stars come out.
You know, you said something earlier. That was 25, Okabi, 25 years.
25 years.
So that is connected to the next one, because when Branson was, I don't know how old he was.
Like 4.
Like 4 years old. So just have a look at this photo, because it's history. Like it's just shows you, because on the left, that is Branson when he was younger with his dad. Then 25 years ago, when they qualified for the finals. And then the one on the right, Okabi.
That's actually the dad.
Look at it.
Like you said, 25 years ago.
Exactly.
He was in fact, one of the ex-Knicks was saying the way he used to walk around the dressing room. Like he used to be around so it's again, it's just heritage. We showed Kolisi. We showed Skalkberger. This is the same. He has trained his kid. His video is one of those videos, all-time videos. When you have time, you can find it on the internet.
Yeah.
The elder Branson has worked so hard to get Jalen to where he is today.
Right.
Currently, he's one of the assistants in the New York team.
Understandably.
Talk about heritage and passing it on, literally, father to son.
Special. And another major American sports that climaxes Sport on for tonight, Wakabi, is the NFL. Now, the NFL this time around, obviously, the season ended. We had the champions, but this one was something else. I'm trying to understand, because I won't mention names, but we have somebody who's involved with this production who loves ink. And this ink is something else. I'm sure that person is watching and saying, wow, what's going on here? So this back tattoo, Wakabi, tell us about it. It's an NFL player.
I saw it, and then what I couldn't just believe is the work at the end and how long it took. Because it wasn't easy. It's one of those things you ask yourself, why? How are you thinking this way? This is Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
So he was put to sleep for a custom full back tattoo. He received anesthesia and had 4 tattoo artists, 4.
Yes, I can see.
Working on his back. And now he has a photo of his girlfriend and an empty NFL Super Bowl ring.
Now, I know the challenge of having Wakabi, of having somebody.
I already see where you're going.
The challenge of having someone's face on your body.
Yes.
If things go south, what happens, eh? You know, I'm trying to understand because that's a problem.
You have to be an optimist and believe, number one, nothing negative is happening. It has to stay positive.
Ikiumana, what will you do?
Actually,
at least it's on the back, so it's always fully clothed.
I understand the whole back thing, but like you said, he has 2 things. So an empty NFL Super Bowl ring. So it's empty.
Okay.
And then his girlfriend. You know those memes where they say, "Bade ukichoka, please take a walk alafu rudi." I think that's what he'll tell her.
Where?
Like, I can't have you on my back. Where are you going?
Yeah.
It's the only explanation.
Well, we have to go because our time is up. Thank you so much for joining us on Spot On. From myself, the laughing James Wakabi, and the entire team who made the show possible. Have a fantastic one and hope to see you again very soon. Don't get that tattoo.